session will be for the speaker to deliver a presentation, and then the second session will be for the participant who will ask question. Okay, you can ask question through chat, or you can ask directly by raising your hand to the speaker. Okay, dear participants, today's topic is about advertising. Advertising is so much crucial for us to know because it can be a powerful tool to influence people to attract people, or even to build customer trust. Okay. So far, we have seen so many amazing presentations and so many amazing speakers. And today we will about to see another amazing presentation from our distinguished speaker. Please welcome Dr. Rosidayu Binti Sabran. Okay, how are you, Dr. Ayu?
Alhamdulillah, I'm okay, I'm fine. Alhamdulillah. What about you?
Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, before we start the presentation, I will read. Is that okay if I call you Dr. Ayu, or
Yes, sure.
do you prefer you prefer me to call you Dr. Rosidayu instead? Dr.
No, it's
Ayu.
okay. The shorter, the better.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, let me read your CV first. She earned Bachelor's in Broadcasting from University Technology
Yes,
Malaysia,
sure.
graduated Masters in Corporate Communication from University Putra Malaysia.
No, it's okay. The shorter, the better.
Doctorate in Communication and Media Studies from University of Malaysia, Broadcasting from London. Also, Dr. Rosida Yusabran graduate communications related to mass communication,
No, it's okay.
broadcasting, on the context of production, management, and script writing. Currently, she teaches broadcast management, media management, and ergonomics, and intercultural communication for undergraduate and postgraduate broadcasting. And then she had 10 years of experience as management and journalist and television producer for religious media management magazine and documentary programs and intercultural academia for undergraduate and and she has supervised more than 6 experience undergraduate student journalist and project and for religious research and documentary programs intercultural academia and also she has knowledge for participants who are joining us today. We will about to see the presentation from Dr. Ayu. Further, this will about the presentation from Dr. Ayu. I will give it to Dr. Ayu. Time is yours, Dr. Ayu. We will about to see the presentation from Dr. Ayu.
Thank you. Okay, sorry,
Dr.
because
Ayu,
just now I heard another voice from the channel.
Okay.
So it's quite disturbing, but it's okay now. It's okay now. Is
Yeah.
it from me
Okay.
or from where?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I can hear your voice now.
Yeah, okay, Alhamdulillah. So, okay, thank you, Bu Maya or Dr. Dr. Maya, is it?
Yes.
Is it? How do I call you?
You can call me Maya instead.
Okay. Thank you very much, Maya. Okay. It was a very lengthy explanation of my background. You should make it simple. Okay. Okay.
So the audience will know you better.
Okay. Sorry. So okay. Thank you very much for the introduction. Okay. So I'll share my slide. Okay. Hold on. Share. Okay, is it showing my slide now?
Yes, we can see your presentation.
Sepatu merah, celana biru.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, so my title today will be, of course, on advertising, but specifically on the consumer audience. Okay, looking into the influences of how consumer make decision and the segmentation. Okay. So before we continue, I would like to introduce the definition of some important terms that will be included in this session. Okay, which is consumer behavior. Okay, looking into it's a study on individuals or group. Okay, selection, how they purchase, okay, use or dispose products. Okay. Secondly is on the consumer audience. Okay, the people who buys or use the product to satisfy their needs and what they want. Okay, customers, people who buy a brand or product or use services, and the prospects. Okay, the potential buyers or potential customer that advertisers normally would try to identify to expand their marketing of their product. Okay. Okay. Traditionally, we buy products by going to physical shops. Okay. So, however, the current era of the convergence and with the advance of the internet, the platform has expanded and the consumer are having many roles or functions. Okay, so they are users, they are also consumers, they involve in the community, they participate, especially in the internet, in the social media, where we have many platforms, e-commerce platforms where we can exchange or buy products. Okay, and even there are other producers like the influencer. Yeah. So with this kind of roles and functions, it is important, especially in the current situation, for the advertisers to understand the behavior or the custom of the consumer. Okay, before they plan, develop their media plan or the strategic project to market their product or services. Okay, what influences consumer decision? What makes they decide what to buy and what to use? Okay, first of all, there are four topics that I will focus. The first one is the social and cultural influences, psychological influences, behavioral influences, and the market segmentation lah. Yeah, the last one. Okay. On cultural and social influences, okay, I think basically everyone knows, okay, culture is something intangible and it can be on tangible also. Okay, it can be on any item, or it can be something that is intangible but is belief from maybe based on religion and so on and so forth. Okay, so these can be identified in a group of people or from an individual based on what their lifestyle, for example, what they use, okay, how they dress, for example. So there are elements of cultures from where they live. Okay, in Malaysia we have certain culture, but we also have similar culture in Indonesia as well. Okay, so in terms of social, is the position or a person's what they believe, okay, within the society. This comes from their religion as well, what they stand for, what they perceive as right or wrong, for example. Okay. Okay, we move on to the cultural influences. Okay, so under cultural influences, there are norms and values. Okay, we have also subcultures. Okay, and also corporate culture. Okay, so these are some in-depth form of elements, okay, that will influence the buying pattern of individual, okay, based on the context of a culture. Okay, under norm and values, of course, in our livelihood, in our daily life, we always do something that is consistently applied in every day. But there are also actions that we do not do, or we do for certain reasons. Okay, so these can be the norms is always normally referring to what we always do. Okay, it becomes a normal situation. Okay, like for example, we solat every day. Yeah, maybe some of us do not recite Quran every day, but maybe once a year, for example, during Ramadan. Okay, so those are examples of culture, but it also reflects the certain behavior because it has connection with maybe the time, the product or services that they use. Okay, so values also refer to the source of norms which represent underlying belief of the system. Okay, so with certain culture we have it is embedded in certain form of values in it. Okay, for example, I highlight on, did you wash your hands? Okay, so how many of us wash hands quite often every day? Okay, the recent COVID-19, for example, the disease, okay, had urged us to take care of our hands, okay, or cleanliness daily, every day, and then we need to sanitize. So now, after post-COVID, we maybe some of us it becomes a custom. Okay, become a norm for us to quite frequently wash our hands. Okay, we wash our hands before, but not that frequent as compared to the post-COVID situation. Okay, so subculture can be identified based on specific identity of a culture. It represents a group, for example, group of, let's say, if you are active in sports, okay, maybe that can be a subculture of a group, that group of athletes, for example. Okay, what form of athlete are you? Okay, so those can be a subculture. Okay, so other form of categorizing the group can be maybe based on age, based on gender, based on race, based on whatever that you see based on your observation, because different community, different society has this kind of culture or characterization. Yeah, for example, in Japan, for example, so their culture is they bound every time they respect people by slightly 90 degrees bound to respect others when they meet people. Yeah, that is their form of respecting others. Okay, that is not our norm. Okay, we respect people in different way. Okay, in the Western, they shake hands, for example, they appreciate by saying verbally, for example, verbal communication. Okay, that is subculture. And also we have in the working place, okay, workplace context, in organization, we have corporate culture. Yeah, especially in the private sector. Yeah, corporate culture. Okay, they have also certain identity. From you can see in the visual. Okay, it is based on maybe the attire. Okay, so yang belakang tu the group. Okay, behind that is a group of students maybe. Yeah, because the appearance is quite informal. Okay, so these are the difference that advertisers need to understand and really study before they create and place, position their brand. We move on to social influences. Okay, just now we focus on culture, and now it's on the social influences. So actually these two, social and culture, are interrelated. Okay. Under social influences, we have social class, reference groups, and family. Yeah, social class is basically how people determine you. Okay, by norm is from the perspective of income lah. Okay, because income if the higher income you have the higher purchasing power. For example, you can buy expensive products, expensive goods, maybe expensive foods even. Yeah. Okay, so these represent your class. Which are you? Okay, in Malaysia, for example, kita ada definition of B40, M40 dengan T20, for example. That's just a brief group. Okay, T20 is a higher class. T20, T20. Okay, so M is like a moderate society with a certain range of income, for example, and B40 is below 40. Maybe they have like income range from, let's say, less than 2,000 ringgit, for example. So that is B40. So this category define who you are. Okay, it can be used by advertisers, but it is still a wide range of categorization if you want to look at the social class, okay, to penetrate the market for your goods and services that you intend to sell. Yeah. And others aspect, it can be from the perspective of education, your occupation, your family prestige. Maybe you are born in a wealthy family, yeah, or let's say political influence family. Okay, the values at home, okay, and maybe where you stay, okay, in a exclusive, let's say, neighborhood, for example. Okay, you live in a bungalow, so that represents the social class. Okay. Additionally is the reference group. Okay, so this actually relates relates with the social class, but this group has a unique characterization where you have I listed here contoh, for example, teachers, cikgu, religious group, for example, from ustad. Okay, that maybe can be referred by looking at the appearance of the individual. Okay, ethnic organizations and your peers. Okay, who is your peers? Okay, so that can be somebody that is influential, that will influence you to use your product or services, which advertisers need to take into account, yeah, consider these influences. Okay, other than that is family. Okay, family, I think this is the norm. Okay, the bottom line of the values that you have today. Okay, how they educate you, huh? How your parents believe is usually you will follow according to what they say or what they think. Okay, so family is related by blood, okay, by marriage, by adoption, okay, that lives in the same household, yeah, or maybe not staying together, but they have certain connection, right, relationship. Okay, other aspect of cultural and social influences is basically on demographic lah, yeah. The statistical, the personal, social, and economic characteristic can be described in a macro perspective, to look at how what are the population in certain country or certain state or certain place consists of. Who are they? Okay. Okay, second second factor that influence consumers is the psychological influence. Okay, here you are more using your cognitive strength, yeah, your perception, your needs and wants, your motivation. Perception, okay. Well, I'm using this picture to represent everyone has different perception, everyone has a different impact when you see something. Okay, so here this picture can be confusing. That can be also be stressful for some individuals, for example. Okay, so your perception and what you have in mind, of course, rooted from your culture and the social context. Okay, but it is also related with your experience, what you have faced. Okay, it may be a positive one. Okay, positive experience. It can be negative experience. Okay, so because of that differences, because of that experiences, you develop certain perception in your mind towards people, towards goods and services. Okay, what do you perceive of red color, for example? Okay, some people like red. Okay, some people dislike red. Okay, some people like white. Okay, so those are based on your perception and how it connects with your mental and also your feeling. Okay, how you feel discomfort or do you feel comfort when you see something, or you want to buy, or you really macam motivated to buy lah. Yeah. Okay, next is the needs and wants. Okay, a need is what we think is essential. Okay, a want is what we desire. Okay, so we can also reflect the needs and wants by referring to Maslow hierarchy of needs, where you have the bottom one is the needs that individual must have every day. For example, you have to eat and sleep and drink. Okay, that is the bottom line. And then you have love and belonging, for example, or safety, for example, the needs of safety. So normally people have this concern when they see an advertisement, okay, before they respond. Okay, so what motivates them to respond? What motivates them to influence? It depends on the level of needs you have, maybe the desire you have. Maybe can you delay your desire? Okay, for example, when you get your salary at the end of the month, okay, then only maybe you consider buying certain product that you have been watching or monitoring for the past 6 months, for example. Okay, buying a new brand of phones, for example. Okay, do you really need? Okay, if let's say you had a broken or problematic phone, maybe that becomes a necessary things that you want to buy. Okay, but because that will fall under the category of needs. Okay, if let's say it's just you have already one phone and it functions well, but it's not up to date. Okay, then you should consider whether you want, but should you buy at that particular moment or not? Maybe you delay it, maybe next week, maybe later. Or okay, you need to save some money first before you buy. Okay, that can falls under wants. Okay, you want it, but it's not really necessary. You're not in need at that particular time. Okay, it can be your self-actualization, the top of the pyramid of Maslow hierarchy of needs. Okay, you set, let's say, in 5 years time, I will buy a car, for example. So that is your prediction, your target of your life, in your life, for example. Okay, so in every day, now and then, people have this kind of the process of decision making, where you need to always consider what to do, how to do it, and when you need something and when you do not need it. And another influencing factor before you decide is your motivation. Okay, the internal force, yeah, how you feel about it. Okay, what force you to buy, what forces you to do not buy. Okay, in this example, is like something happened, okay, created by a teacher who was sick of catching colds in class. So that means every time she enters the class, she sneeze, for example. Okay, so maybe it's because of the environment of the class, or maybe of the cleanliness. But the fact that it motivates the teacher to do something. Okay, so the action can be a motivating factor. What if, let's say, there's a case of health, for example, the students also in the class faces the same problem. Okay, so that needs an quick action. Okay. Okay, the second influence is the psychological influence, attitudes and values. Okay, it can also influence your attitudes. Okay, your decision making. What motivate you to buy? Okay, is it very urgent? How urgent are you? For example, let's say katalah dalam kebanyakan, katalah untuk kanak-kanak, ya. So normally they will cry, kan? Adik-adik kita, anak-anak kita, kan, kalau inginkan sesuatu di kedai misalnya, okay, atau nampak sesuatu, mereka terus tunjuk dan mereka kata mereka inginkan perkara itu, atau ingin makan burger, atau ingin beli mainan, atau kan, dan sebagainya. So tindakan menangis, kadang-kadang mereka rebel, ya. Contohnya anak remaja, mereka inginkan phone yang terkini, tapi mereka sudah ada telefon dan ibu bapa tidak mahu belikan telefon tersebut kerana itu bukan satu keperluan yang terdesak. There's no agency on it, because, or maybe let's say you want to buy, you can buy, okay, as a parent you can buy for your children, but there must be a reason, okay, or motivation. Let's say you promise your son or your children, if you have received good grades, for example, good result during examination, then you can buy it as a reward, for example. So that can be a motivation, okay, for the kid to study. But and at the end of the day, they can get what they want. Yeah. So this also influence how consumers evaluate products, institution, retail stores, and advertising. Okay. The first one is now my example is on the motivation, okay, the values in the house, okay, the attitude, okay, it can be also on the personality, okay, different characteristics, you know, sometimes people are just quiet, they just do, you don't see based on their appearance how they react and how they perceive of certain brand or services, okay. So that's where advertisers needs to study the behavioral, the psychology aspect of a personality. For example, an introvert person dengan extrovert person, macam mana mereka bertindak, okay, especially the introvert lah. Okay. Kalau extrovert biasanya kita nampak mereka ini sangat aktif. Mereka they are vocal, okay? Bercakap, bergaul dengan pelbagai golongan masyarakat. They are easygoing, open. Ya, tapi kalau yang introvert tu mereka lebih pendiam, lebih mungkin suka menyendiri, okay? Tetapi mesti mereka ada keinginan, okay? So jadi mungkin jika kita ingin menjual sesuatu produk ataupun perkhidmatan kepada golongan yang tertentu, terutamanya mereka yang pendiam, mungkin produk yang sesuai dengan golongan yang sebegini. Jadi perkara itu perlu dikenal pasti. Maybe based on a study, you do a survey, or just maybe an interview, focus group, things like that. Okay. So that you can create different products for different group of people with different characters. Okay. Okay. The other psychological influence is the psychographic influences, which is normally based on lifestyle. This factor really depending on the lifestyle, how you earn your money, okay, what kind of product do you buy, okay, your affordability, and also your action, the behavior. What you wear, okay, what do you use, okay, even toothpaste, for example, kan, ada setengah orang akan beli ubat gigi, kita panggil toothpaste, ubat gigi yang mahal, ada yang tak kisah apa saja jenis ubat gigi pun mereka boleh gunakan, memang sesuai. Tapi ada orang yang mungkin kurang percaya dengan certain jenama, kan, for example, okay. So adakah ubat gigi juga melambangkan status quo? Okay, mungkin, ya, sebab ada yang mahal, ada yang murah, ya. Okay, itu antara satu contoh, ya. Dan mungkin ia juga bergantung kepada trend, okay, trend semasa. Mungkin ada, especially nowadays, because we have influencer, we have netizens, okay, social media, we have e-commerce trend online, so business online. So what is trending becomes a norm. What is trending becomes the utmost factor that will influence the buying pattern of the society, for example, especially for the young generation. Okay, so whether it's popular or not, it's not a big deal. It doesn't matter, as long as it is the trend, it is being catch up, okay, in among the young generation. Okay, but for the older generation, maybe it's more of the perception, the performance, the quality. Yeah. Okay, moving on to behavioral influences. Okay, based on your behavior. Okay, your usage behavior. Okay, how you shop, for example, when do you shop? Okay, which product which shop do you go? Okay, which product do you normally buy? Sometimes you just a loyal user of a brand, for example. Okay, do you change to another? Do you change to another brand, for example? Excuse me. Do you change using a product often? Okay, so how much product brand do you use for certain group of product, for example, drink, for example. Okay, which drink do you consume? Okay, which brand of drink do you consume, for example? Let's say gassy drink, for example, kan. Kita ada Coca-Cola, kita ada Sprite, kita ada apa lagi? FNN, ya. So, apa yang menyebabkan anda membeli atau menggunakan satu brand itu? Okay. Satu lagi faktor ialah innovation and adoption. Okay, how people are willing to be innovative and try out new things. Okay, some people, they are dare to use new product. Okay, just maybe yesterday, there's a brand new, for example, car or phone, something, or new drink, okay, introduced by a company. Okay, so you are the one who dare to try, okay, dare to test the quality, the performance of the product. Okay. Okay, next is the segmenting. Okay, segmenting consumer groups. Okay, so this is the identifying the division of or dividing a group in a society. Okay, based on the preferences. Yeah, so because for advertisers to successfully penetrate and sell their product, okay, to influence their customers, so you need to study and narrow, okay, your community, your target market into detail segments, okay, because then you would understand, okay, by range of age, for example. But if you use by range of age, you still need to maybe divide them into their personality, yeah, their buying pattern, their education background, their affordability, maybe based on their career, for example. Okay. So by definition, segmenting is dividing your community, your target group, yeah, of people, okay, into a similar characteristic, okay, same characteristic, okay, that usually relate to your product, okay, because if you don't relate, okay, maybe it won't be sellable. So kamu kita tak berjaya lah menjual, ataupun boleh, tapi kejayaan itu tidak terlalu tinggi. Okay, your sales may not be reaching your KPI, that your target. Okay, that means you is not successful lah. Okay, so targeting, identifying the group that might be the most profitable audience. Okay, you wouldn't know whether when you develop a campaign or you introduce a new brand or product or services in the market, it doesn't, when you have study and identify certain groups, certain market of people, you wouldn't actually know exactly whether it will be a success or not. Okay, so this is the process, okay, by dividing or segmentizing group, okay, by looking into their psychological context, their preferences, their behavior, their culture. Advertisers would understand what are the sort of product or services that they will buy, what kind of brand do they loyal to. Okay, so you will create similar product and services that might be bought by this group of people. So you need to target to the right group. Okay, first of all, in segmentation, we have market segmentation. Okay, where we try to identify the different forms of market in a society. Okay, so that you can apply the strategy. You understand their personality, their trend, their users, and how they gratify themselves. Okay, in a daily context. So you develop a certain strategy, you develop certain messages that is useful for them, that connects to this group of people, okay, that will relate, okay, that those people would appreciate, would use for a long time, becomes a loyal consumer. Okay, so that is the reason of implementing market segmentation. Okay, market aggregation strategy is to identifying which of this group of people would use, but not only use, but would be influenced by larger people. That means the potential, okay, the possible customers. Okay, you have your main target, but you want to expand to make sure that it can be, it covers a wider context of the society. And number 3 is the target market, which is the specific characteristic or traits of individuals that use your market, your brand, yeah, with similar needs and similar characteristics. Okay, we have different types of segmentation. Okay, we also we can use a social demographic segment approach. Okay, which is actually similar lah, because the word demographic that represents the character that you identify based on age, gender, occupation. Yeah, and number 3 is the niche market, which normally really narrow down into specific traits of people. Like, for example, in television, okay, we have the programming, right? Or we call it schedule, okay, television schedule. So there are morning show, there are dramas, there are news, for example, programs, and there are talk shows. There are many programs. Where do we place them? Okay, so normally the staff, okay, the staff, or we call the programmers in the TV station, would identify their placement, their schedule based on the lifestyle, who are using, who are watching. Okay, where are they? Okay, morning people. Okay, how do we influence people in the morning? Okay, you really want to place your program, you want to place your product in that program, so you would identify where is your market, okay, in that schedule. That means identifying when do they watch television, okay, the time, yeah. The kids, for kids program, for example, let's say your product is for kids, okay, so that means not only kids, but you also have to influence their parents, okay, because they are in the family, okay, because kids do not know how to switch on television or switch on the radio, or even using the social media without the concern or the assistance from their parents. So you need to comply with this too. Okay, so but which is actually the best slot, for example, to target, let's say if you want to place your product in the media, for example, TV station, okay, when is the best day? Is it weekdays or weekends? Or is it morning or in the afternoon or at night? Okay, so you need to understand the traits. Yeah. Okay, methods of segmentation. As I said, demographic segmentation is easy. So you can guess, let's say, which segment of group do this brand belongs to. Okay, you can see you have McDonald's, so we can predict that it's for everyone, the mass audience, but you cannot use that as a take things for granted. But if let's say it's for mass audience, but actually who is actually the main consumer, who often buy McDonald's, the burger? Although you can see, let's say if you do an observation, okay, you can see everyone, every walks of life buy burger kan, burger McDonald's. Semua orang ada dalam restoran tu. Yang kecil, yang kanak-kanak, yang besar, yang tua, yang muda, semua orang ada. Tapi sebenarnya siapa yang menjadi pengguna setia, yang pembeli setia burger McDonald ni? Adakah ahli keluarga, ibu bapa ataupun kanak-kanak yang sebagainya. So yang itu yang sebenarnya strategi perlu dikenal pasti oleh pengiklan atau syarikat pengiklan, siapa sebenarnya yang makan burger. Ya, tapi bagaimana mereka mendapat duit untuk membeli burger, yang itu pun kita kena fikirkanlah, ya. Okey, yang kedua, psychographic segmentation. Okay, kalau ada perkataan psychographic, that means it's based on lifestyle. Okay, based on their interest, based on the affordability, the money, the time, the perception. Okay, kalau kita nak mendaki gunung, okay, jadi kita beli peralatan, yang siapa yang suka mendaki gunung atau it's a good exercise, but sometimes the items or the facilities, okay, the bags, the jacket, there's so many things that you have to buy in order to go for a program. Okay, this is an example, okay, of psychographic segmentation approach applicable by Starbucks. Okay, so which they relate to non-coffee drinkers who still want to socialize in their cafe. Okay, because for me, Starbucks is not really inviting. Yeah, because of the maybe choices of the goods, okay, choices of drinks maybe. We just have cakes, okay, we do not have so we have pastry, but we don't have rice, kan, dalam tu, kan. We have okay, for those who prefer eating rice, for example, so mereka mungkin kurang gemar lah pergi ke makan di restoran Starbucks, okay. Tapi mereka hanya minum saja. Mungkin yang bukan penggemar kopi lah, yang terutama yang tak pergi ke kafe-kafe macam ni. Okay, tapi mereka mungkin mereka temankan, contohnya ibu bapa atau rakan-rakan kamu yang use this place as a socialization place to discuss about assignments, for example, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Okay, we have also geographic segmentation, okay, by focusing on specific customers based on location, okay. And also behavioral segmentation, okay, by identifying how you respond, how you use, how quick do you buy a certain product. Okay, of course it relates to the affordability, tapi keberanian, macam saya cakap lebih awal tadi, keberanian mereka ataupun the motivation, the tendency they want, the fact that maybe they want to be the first batch the first person who buys certain product, for example. That's why there are so many people who is loyal to certain brand, who would queue at the beginning of a day when a brand introduce their product. Okay, so this graph is actually referring to your tendency to adopt the new item, new product, or the services. Okay, you are the innovators. Okay, the first 2.5% you are the innovators. You dare to buy, because for me, for example, I'm personally I'm not innovators. I will wait for people's reflection, comments, reviews, before I buy the product. Okay, and maybe there are other factors lah, like affordability and your needs. Okay, but there are certain people, especially among the young generation. Okay, okay, would like to highlight, the impact of advertising on consumers' buying behavior from a research by Sumaila Ahmad, and Aisha Ashfaq, that highlights on the importance of having the importance of the advertisers to ensure the message, the message, and also the brand, of the brand that they want to use, that they want to introduce in an advertisement, must be communicated well. However, the reaction or the action taken will normally influence their preferences. First is based on the quality, that being advertised, the quality of the product being advertised. Secondly, the price, because normally people will ask for the price. If your advertisement doesn't have the price, they will seek for that. But today that's no problem. Maybe last time advertisers do not use this approach, revealing the price, because especially if it's expensive. Persuasiveness, information, and entertainment, elements, in the message, in the advertisement, which can hugely persuade people's buying pattern. Of course, especially the information and entertainment elements lah, that will influence that. Brand image in the advertising, and also the celebrity endorsement. So these are, apart from the influences that I've highlighted just now. These are also additional considering buying pattern that advertisers should take care of or concern of when developing their messages, their advertisement, what should be appear, what should not appear, and the quality of it. So last but not least, we come to the last slide. It is for advertisers, it is essential to target the right audience, for the advertisers, because your study, based on the previous influences, maybe do a small research, will enable you to be able to target the right consumer. Because it's essential for targeting the right consumer to ensure that whatever approach or strategies that you implement will be communicated well, understood well. I mean, people will receive it, people understand, people know the maybe the risks, the quality, appreciate, and therefore they will take an action by buying and using your product and services. And that success also needs to be is also related to where you position your product. It's also which channel, where do you position the product, and as our focus today is targeting the right audience. So with that, I thank you. Terima kasih banyak-banyak. Minta maaf saya cakap dalam bahasa Inggeris penuhnya.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ayu. This is such an enlightening presentation about advertising. As you know, that advertising is so crucial for us to know, especially for advertiser. We really need to mind about what is that behavior and custom before plan the strategy of advertising. We will open the second session, question and answer session. If you wanted to ask directly to the speaker, you may raise your hand, or you can simply write the question through chat, and then I will read it for you to the speaker. Okay, let's see. Okay, once again, if you have any question, you can raise your hand. Okay, let's see. Dr. Ayu, I have something like experience when I was in Jakarta, yeah. Actually, because what we have, I mean that situation that we have now, this is post-pandemic. It's kind of, what is that? Maybe a lot of people are struggling with their financing, yeah. But still, yeah, I saw a long queue, yeah, in front of a branded bag store. Can I say the brand? One? Okay, maybe the initial of the, yeah,
This
the
is
branded
educated.
bag is, yeah. Maybe the initial of the branded bag is L, yeah. Okay. And then there is long queue in front of the store, and it is make me wonder, yeah, what is that about their strategy of advertising? Maybe they have what is that? A very good advertising. That's why, yeah, a lot of people queue in front of the branded bag store. And then meanwhile, when I saw some stores in the same mall in Jakarta, there is no queue. There is no long queue. Even though, what is that? There is a sign of sale because this is the end of the year. There are a lot of sales in every bag store in Jakarta. And so that make people are interesting to go to the mall nowadays. But it is kind of, what is that, amazing phenomena that only that branded bag store, which has a long queue, yeah. And then, as you say that, what is that? People, the customer will buy something based, especially based on one of the factors, price, yeah. And actually, the price of the bag, the cheapest one is about 30 or 40 million, 30 or 50 million rupiah. What is that for one branded bag? And then that is make me wonder why. Maybe you can analyze this kind of phenomena. What do you think about this?
Well, when you say the long queue in one mall and the other one is no queue at all, okay, is
No
it
queue at all.
the same brand? The
No,
same
different brand.
Oh, different
Okay.
brand. Okay.
Yeah, but actually they similar. Yeah, maybe
It's a
what can
handbag.
I say? Premium bag. Yeah,
Premium bag. Okay.
They have similar position from the brand, but they put the sale sign in front of the store, and then the one who has a long queue, there's no sign of sale, and there's no sale until the end of the month. There is no sale. But make me wonder why, yeah? There is a long queue in front of the store, and meanwhile in the other store there is no queue. What do you think about this kind of phenomenon? You can
I think
analysis.
I think basically if you have a long queue in a shop, okay, in a shop which sells expensive product, okay,
so much expensive.
Yeah, it's so expensive. So you can see that that reflects their status quo, okay, their affordability, because as you say, it's very expensive. Not everyone can buy, yeah, but still the shop is full, maybe because of maybe 10% sales or the 10% discount or 20% discount. So that can be, I would say it is based on loyalty. Okay, the consumers are a loyal of the brand, a loyal consumer of the brand. Okay, because when we call a loyal consumer, it doesn't only actually reflecting for branded very expensive product. It can be like a norm. For example, if we have milk, for example, katalah susu untuk kanak-kanak kan, susu untuk susu ibu kan, so It is also expensive nowadays. Okay. I don't know whether in Indonesia, but I don't have kids anymore lah, young kids. But I can see when I go for shopping in the supermarket, it's very expensive now. Okay, but do they have any choice? Okay, if that company, if that brand, let's say, what's the product? We have susu Nestle, for example, something like that lah. Okay, if let's say they make a sale, for example. Okay, so I can guarantee mothers will definitely buy the product. Okay, that's a situation of in a supermarket. Because maybe in the supermarket it's not one shop that sell the milk, but for example for kids. Okay, because kids, they need milk. Okay, especially working mother. Yeah, so working mother needs an option. Yeah, for them for the kids to consume. Yeah, so sometimes it's not only because of the price. Sometimes not because of the loyalty, but for mothers, in terms of the product of milk, okay, for the kids, so it becomes a necessity.
Yeah.
So it's a necessity, because there's no option for that. Okay, but maybe for expensive brand, like maybe depends, because milk people need to consume, people need to drink. Okay, but for handbags, for example, for cars, okay, that is something luxury. Yeah, so that means that one can be categorized as consumer, that maybe loyalty becomes their ultimate focus, that justify that motivate them to buy that brand, because when they use their brand, they elevated their status quo. It's not, maybe not really on appearance, okay, but self-satisfaction. They have that satisfaction. It reminds me of I have one. I asked my students in my class. Okay, it's related to the. I asked my students to do an evaluation of any brand, but apparently one of the group did on Starbucks, for example. Okay, I asked, why do you drink Starbucks, for example? Okay, kenapa dia minum Starbucks? Ada setengah yang cakap dia tak minum Starbucks sebab dia tak minum kopi. Okay, ada satu jawapan yang menyebabkan macam saya terkejut jugalah. Kan? To feel T20, dia kata, to feel, nak merasa sebagaimana golongan T20. Golongan T20 ni macam saya cakap adalah golongan kaya lah, golongan orang kaya kan, kebanyakan. So dengan membeli satu air Starbucks, dia merasa bahawa dia seolah-olah seperti orang kaya. So itu okay. So sebab kalau nak ikut kemampuan, they can't afford because they are still students, university students kan, but they want to feel, okay, maybe they want to try out. Okay, even the the interior design of the cafe also is actually kind of cozy, yeah, but that is external factor lah. But in terms of this motivation, what motivates them? Okay, that is one of the, if we the reason why they buy certain product lah. Okay, because when we refer to the Maslow hierarchy of needs, we have the different phases, the level, the basic needs, the safety needs, the love needs, kan, and then the highest one is the self-actualization, okay, which you want to target. Okay, so I think should be satisfying.
Yes, loyalty, necessity first. Okay, and then loyalty. To gain loyalty, of course, really need to to make a better way how to for advertiser to make a good advertising in order to gain the loyalty of the customer, Dr. Ayu.
Ya, betul. Sebab advertisers understand this. If they study the characteristic of their consumers, if they have they did the segmentation, so they know, and they already understand how to penetrate the market, the pattern of buying, like for example, Apple, iPhone, okay, they are followers, okay, they are innovators yang sebenarnya kalau you keluarkan model yang terbaru je, orang akan cepat-cepat beli, orang akan tunggu, walaupun dia sebenarnya ada phone, so dia tahu akan ada pengguna yang ada pembeli yang akan menggunakan. Sama juga kereta, kan? So they have their followers, so they are actually targeting, okay, that is their niche market. However, of course, they want to extend the possibilities of other group of people that might be affordable in terms of salary, in terms of the status quo, but they are more maybe fussy in terms of trying to see others review, for example. Dia nak tunggu mungkin ulasan daripada pengguna yang baru membeli, baru mereka bertindak untuk membeli. Yang tu pun ada jugalah. Okay? So saya boleh cakap faktor yang sebegitu. Kadang-kadang kita ada duit tapi kita tak teringin pun untuk membeli barang yang mahal. Kerana apa? Because we have values, kan? Mungkin kita ni orang yang jimat cermat. Jadi duit itu mesti perlu menabung begitu, kan? Mungkin itulah nilai yang dididik oleh keluarga. Itu budaya.
And maybe about functionality of the of the product, yeah. Even though we think, this is the bag is, for example, the bag is a branded bag, but still the functionality is not functionality fungsionalnya nggak begitu dibutuhkan.
Betul.
So we prefer to buy something cheaper than the branded bag.
Betul.
Like that.
Okay. Especially women, kan? Women, we are actually easily influenced, is it not? For example, we have various types of handbags. Handbags for functions, handbags for work, handbag for, let's say, we have crossbody, for example, if we go for holiday. So we have even shoes.
Even shoes, And then we have to match the bag and the shoe.
Exactly. Matching, that's another case.
Typical women,
women. So that's the
By the way, for partisipan, untuk teman-teman yang ada di sini, you can use bahasa Indonesia ya.
Boleh.
Jangan lihat Bu Maya pakai bahasa Inggris atau Dr. Ayu di sini pakai bahasa Inggris. If you want to ask in bahasa Indonesia, so it's our pleasure to have your question, okay?
Okay, ada soalan ni.
Ada yang sudah raise hand tadi.
Di dekat chat.
Okay, let's see. Adam through AD mail.
Adam ke? Yang ni.
Okay, Adam, go ahead.
First of all, my name is Adam through the mail. So the question that I want to ask about is, there are some people that still don't know the difference about wanting and needing, because there's difference. Okay, so I want to how we influence the people, or how to teach the people. There's some stuff that you don't supposed to about it because they just wanting, not needing. So how do we to tell the people or to influence the people? Is it needing or wanting? Is it necessary that we want to about it or not? There's a question, Miss. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Thank you, Adam. Okay. The difference between want and need. Okay. So I think you mentioned about the necessary. So if you normally if once we, let's say we go for holiday or we do a window shopping, for example. Okay. So we saw many things. Okay. Sometimes you want certain cakes or we want to buy. So the action that normally reflect or happen in our mind is you like that, okay, and you say you want that, okay, but do you actually respond by buying it? Okay, but before buying, you normally has the second stage of question in your mind, whether you actually need it or not. Is it necessary? Is it a necessity? Do you need it today, now? Okay, why do you need it? Okay, so you should ask this question to you. Okay, if let's say, what kind of example? Just now I mentioned about, I think I mentioned about phone, for example. Okay, you want a new phone. Okay, but do you really need it? Okay, you want means that is your desire. Okay, because I think human being wants almost everything. Okay, especially foods. Okay, luxuries. Okay, that is our habit. Okay, we want, of course, a lot of things to be ours to buy the things. Okay, that is what we want. Okay, but if you use the word need, okay, we are actually trying to justify, okay, what is it? Do we need that product? Okay, I want it, but do I need it? Okay, so that means if you want to save your pocket money, okay, if you are afraid that you will spend a lot of money while window shopping, so you need to have this perception of to think whether I want it, but is it necessary to buy it now? Okay, is it a necessity to have it now? Okay, or maybe not today, maybe when I have, when I can afford to buy it. For example, you have to save some money first, after 1 month or 2 months, then only you. And so that is the second phase, justify your action, whether you want or you need. Okay, so that actually plays in your mind. Okay, and you can feel it, whether is it you what you want, okay, or you need it badly, or you can delay your action by, you know, having other options. Okay, for example, that can be maybe, there are so many other questions that in terms of affordability. Okay, for example, do I have money now? Okay, yes, I have, but do you use the money? Will you use the money for other things? Okay, that means, let's say you have 100 ringgit in the pocket, okay, for example, and you want to buy an item which is 98 ringgit, for example. Okay, that means you have only 2 ringgit for foods, for example. Okay, do you want that? Okay, would it be okay for you to spend only 2 ringgit for your other necessities, to drink or to buy food? Yeah. Okay, so normally what you want doesn't necessarily make you to have it, or you are in need of the product or services. Okay, because it may not be necessary. So it's just a matter of thinking, okay, rephrasing, reconfirming what you desire. Okay, so the desire can be your want or what you need. Okay, but the need is another, that is where you emphasize to double check, okay, whether you really want it or you don't. Okay, so that means if you have certain product, maybe let's say when you go to the shop, you buy a certain product, but maybe you are quite reluctant because of the color, because of the model, because of the maybe certain defects. Okay. That is the external, that is the factor on the product itself. Okay. But for you, you have other aspect lah, and in terms of affordability, monetary, and the needs. Okay. It depends on, it's actually interrelated with the values that you have. Okay. The values in terms of, do you always buy anything that you want? Okay. How do you spend your money? Yeah. And your affordability, how much money do you have? Okay. So I hope it clarify a bit on how to justify want and need. Okay. Because the need is, you must have it. Okay. Okay. Need, that is need. Okay. What you want may not be, you may not receive it. Okay. It can be delayed. Yeah. Okay, Adam?
Okay, Miss, thank you for the answer.
Okay, thank you, Adam, for the question. Actually, for women, maybe, in the perspective of women, whether we need it or whether we want it, if we like it, we just buy it.
That is so problematic for women.
Yeah, that is so problematic. Yeah, maybe if we place us as consumer, yeah, especially female, yeah. If we like it, we just buy it. Yeah, sometimes
Yes.
they will push themselves, yeah, even though it is not supported by the financial, but still, yeah, they will
Betul.
buy it if they like it. Is that true, Dr. Ayu?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
But for expensive things, you have to think twice.
Yeah, we really need to educate ourselves. Yeah, which one do we need? Which one do we want? Yeah, so it will. It won't affect to our financing.
For those
Okay.
who if you want it, you buy it. So those kind of group maybe do not have any problems in terms of money. Yeah. Or maybe they have clear mind that okay, they straight away make the decision, a quick decision. Okay. No other problems or other factors that will influence their decision making process. Yeah. Maybe they are single, so there are many factors lah. So I see one question here.
Yeah, one question from Ibu Dian. Salam Ibu Rosi, I want to ask you about your opinion about the statement, good product don't need exaggerating marketing related to what kind of advertising is suitable for this kind of product. That will be the question from Bu Dian. Thank you, Bu Dian, for the question.
Thank you, Bu Dian. Good product don't need exaggerating market. So exaggerating market is something that sometimes people is disturbing for some in certain context. Okay, so it's too much information maybe, or maybe the approach that people or the advertisers use in convincing, or in communicating to convince the customers to buy the product is disturbing. Because sometimes people dislike this kind of exaggeration in certain context. Okay, but for example, okay, what kind of advertising is suitable for this kind of product? Okay, it can be more of like image building. Okay, image building rather than focusing on the product. So the advertisers may want to focus on in terms of the company or the maybe relate to issues. For example, I remember kalau contohnya iklan yang dulu, kalau iklan merokok kan, something yang sebenarnya bermasalah kan. Rokok dululah zaman masa, mungkin sekarang dah kurang iklan merokok sebab mungkin masyarakat sudah ada kesedaran tentang kesihatan. Jadi mereka tahu merokok itu adalah membawa maut contohnya kan. Itu message tentang kesihatan. Tapi we still have this kind of although it's not quite frequent, tapi mereka tak tonjolkan produk tu sendiri dalam iklan. Okay? Tetapi mereka tonjolkan image ataupun kaitkan dengan isu-isu semasa yang membawa maksud kepada syarikat yang mengeluarkan produk itu menyokong supaya masyarakat menjaga kesihatan contohnya. So, saya rasa itu antara salah satu pendekatan yang boleh digunakan untuk mungkin produk-produk yang mungkin ada faktor-faktor yang agak sensitif, yang mungkin negatif di kalangan pandangan masyarakat yang mungkin menyebabkan mereka tak nak menggunakan. Contohnya iklan mungkin yang berkaitan dengan produk-produk wanita yang mungkin kita di budaya di masyarakat di timur kita tidak terlampau menonjolkan anggota badan contohnya kan. Kalau shampoo ataupun gigi, so di barat mereka agak menonjolkan anggota badan. Jadi perkara-perkara atau produk-produk yang sebegitu tidak terlampau ditonjolkan dari aspek produk, tetapi ciri-ciri ataupun kaitkan juga dengan image supaya pengguna lebih yakin. Ya, pendekatannya meyakinkan dahulu pengguna tentang pengeluar jenama tersebut, ataupun mungkin ada sesuatu produk yang mungkin telah digunakan atau produk yang lebih kurang sama, ataupun mungkin based on testimoni pun boleh juga. Keyakinan. Tapi saya rasa kalau yang sangat sensitif macam contoh yang kes merokok ataupun melibatkan manipulasi orang terutamanya wanita dalam iklan, kita gunakan pendekatan yang berbeza lah. Contohnya macam kalau macam Petronas for example, dia jual petrol kan, tapi kita tak adalah tunjuk dia, mereka tak ada tunjuk petrol, tak tunjuk barangan tu sendiri, tapi dia sangat hebat dalam melahirkan iklan-iklan yang mengambil berat tentang kesihatan, mengambil berat tentang kemasyarakatan. Di Malaysia iklan Petronas sangat dekat apabila ada hari raya. Kalau hari raya ataupun ada isu-isu semasa, mungkin contoh ada isu di Palestin for example, so mereka akan keluarkan iklan yang bukan menjual produk tetapi mengetengahkan kepentingan kita supaya kita mengambil berat tentang isu-isu yang berlaku di sana. Itu.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Ayu, for the answer. Okay, for student, come on student, would you like to add something? You can use bahasa Indonesia ya, boleh pakai bahasa Indonesia loh. Maybe you are curious ya, masih penasaran about the process, how to apply strategy in the making of advertisement, for example like that. Come on. Masih penasaran nih iklan-iklan seperti apa nih, bagian apply-nya, bagaimana prosesnya, apa yang mendasari seseorang membuat satu strategi sehingga bisa mempengaruhi orang untuk beli gitu ya, bisa mempengaruhi seseorang sehingga dia punya motivasi untuk mendapatkan barang yang dia inginkan atau yang dibutuhkan. Silakan.
Boleh, saya.
Ada mahasiswa yang mau nanya? Come on. Not only English ya, but also bahasa Indonesia. Ask directly to the speaker. Yep. Ya, Prof Neni. Prof Neni. So sorry. Okay.
Okay. Can my voice be heard clearly?
Yes, I can hear your voice, Prof Neni.
Hai, Miss Ayu, Ibu Ayu.
Ya, Prof. Apa kabar?
Alhamdulillah. Okay, hopefully Bu Ayu always healthy.
Amin, insyaAllah.
Okay, I want to ask you, Bu Ayu, based on Bu Ayu explanation about various aspects that can affect consumers or customer related to advertising. There are cultural influence, social influence, psychological influence, and so on, and behavior influence. Before influencing behavior, which one has the strongest effect, psychological effect, psychological influence, or social influence, cultural influence. Also, please explain and why it would be better if given an example. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So that means for you, you want examples from each
Yes.
ni? Okay, cultural influence.
Cultural influence.
Or you want
Or based on psychological influence?
or you want psychological influence?
Which
Okay, example of
Which
advertising,
one?
is it?
Yes.
Maksudnya
Which one? Before influencing behavior, which one has the strongest effect? Psychological influence, social influence, or cultural influence?
oh, which one is the
Yeah.
strongest effect, has the
Yeah.
strongest effect?
Yes.
Oh, that is hard. Because why? My personal opinion is actually it is actually interrelated. Okay, but I can see that I think before because we have cultural and social influence, one, secondly, the psychological influence, and then we have behavioral influence,
Yes.
right? Okay, and then the other one is segmentation.
Yes.
So if let's say based on these three, cultural and social influence, psychological influence, and behavioral influence, so behavioral is the action, okay?
Yes.
The influence, the action that we,
Okay.
for example, we buy the product, that is action. But before we act to buy the product, we normally have a certain perception. Okay, so we have certain perception, we have certain that is actually play in our mind. Okay, so for example, Adam just now beritahu kata yang mana satu sebenarnya yang kita nak atau kita perlukan. Okay, want or need. Okay, but you have to think. Okay, sometimes when we go to the shop, you see things you want to buy. You see things, whatever you see, you want to buy. Okay, okay. The decision is actually placed in our mind. Okay, okay. So I think the most strongest is the psychological influence, because this psychological influence is actually how we process the information, how we process what we see, okay, how we process, process
itself.
Yeah, process in our mind before we decide what to buy. Okay, and when it's being processed in our mind, it's actually relate with the culture and social today. Okay, it relates to some maybe coincidentally you remember, okay, I need the money for the upcoming something, I need to buy the software, for example. Okay, or maybe my parents said he wants to borrow some money. Okay, so things like that. Maybe for students, maybe okay, ibu sudah pesan kata cermat duitnya, kan, simpan, save some money. Okay, so menyebabkan tindakan itu bila dia fikir, dia teringat kepada parents dan menyebabkan dia tidak jadi membeli. Okay, so jadi pada pandangan saya psychological influence yang sangat penting lah, kan, kerana ia memain peranan, okay, because it influence the action that we make, and also later the decision making, the decision that we make before we buy a certain product. Pandangan saya, Prof.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Neni, for the question, and then Dr. Ayu for the answer. Okay, actually, we have already, the time is already 10:30, so this will be the end of our session now. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin, we have finished this session visiting lecture 2022. I would like to say thank you to our distinguished guest lecturer from USIM, Dr. Rosida Sabran. Thank you so much, Dr. Ayu,
Most
for
welcome.
enlightening presentation about what is that, our advertising. Okay, maybe I can, what is that, conclude a bit of your presentation that for advertiser, they need to be able to know more about their market. That is the first thing they need to be able, what is that, to put a lot of creativity and innovation to make, to apply strategy in advertising. And of course, we as consumer, we really need to be able to identify which one do we need and which one do we want. Yeah? So we can be able to manage our financial better.
Yeah.
Okay. And on behalf of the host also, we would like to apologize for any inconvenience. And then before we really end this session, we'd like to have a photo session first. Okay, with you, Dr. Ayu. Okay.
Okay.
For participant, please, maybe you can open your camera. Maybe you can on your camera so we can have a photo session together with Dr. Ayu. Bisa dibuka itunya, mic-nya, bisa di-on-kan. Mic-nya, itunya apa, kameranya. Kameranya bisa di-on-kan. Jadi kita bisa berfoto bersama dengan Dr. Ayu. Oke. Saya kasih aba-aba ya. Ready ya, Kang Rival? Oke.
Salam komunikasi.
Siap, siap, Prof. Oke. We will make what is that? Kita tangannya seperti ini.
Itu apa?
Semuanya. Ini salam
Itu
komunikasi. This is K.
Oh,
Communication.
okay.
Komunikasi.
Komunikasi.
Ini salamnya kita, komunikasi.
Okay.
Saya kasih aba-aba ya. 1, 2, 3. Oke, one more ya. 6. Oke. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. We still have 4 more, yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, the last slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we still have 1 more. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I would like to remind you about tomorrow. We still have another session with another amazing presenter from USIM, Dr. Wesam A.M. Al-Mahalawiya. We will talk about video production. Okay, so for students, please be here again tomorrow at the same time. We will share the link through our social media. Yeah, okay, and then we will share the link also through our WhatsApp group. Okay, once again, thank you so much, Dr. Ayu. Thank you so much for being here today. It's such a pleasure for me, for us, of course.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much for the opportunities, and I hope it benefits. Okay, and hopefully everyone takes care of yourself. Okay. Hopefully someday I will visit you, inshallah. Maybe.
Okay. We'll be waiting for you. We'll be waiting for you.
Okay.
We always welcome all of the lecturers from USIM.
Yeah, you too. Okay, please come to USIM also.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
For sure.
Assalamualaikum.
Once again, thank you very much. Have a nice day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
See you tomorrow.
Inshallah.
Mau mulai? Ya, Dr. Sofia, Assalamualaikum. Bu Ayu, Assalamualaikum. Dr. Ayu.
Waalaikumsalam.
Suaranya kecil mungkin.
Salam.
Dr. Sofia. Saya bicaranya dalam bahasa Indonesia, it's okay?
Boleh?
Ya, Dr. Sofia, terima kasih. Kita sudah berjalan cukup lama ya, hampir 1 bulan lebih untuk kegiatan visiting lecture itu, dan mungkin hari besok adalah terakhir kita